तो इसके पहले हमने क्या क्या किया, लेट मी टेक यू थ्रू अगेन, जस्ट थोड़ा सा ब्रीफ। ठीक है, घिरण्य संहिता को 7 घटकों का योग कहा जाता है, यानी 7 स्टेप्स को फॉलो करने वाला। इसमें सबसे पहली प्रधानता षटकर्म की है, उसके बाद आसन। आसन में भी जैसे कहा कि शिव संहिता में जैसे आपको जितनी योनियां हैं लगभग उतने आसनों का जिक्र किया गया है। अगर इनमें से मुख्य प्रधान जो है 84 आसन है, उसमें भी ग्रहण संहिता मुख्य 32 आसनों पे ही सिर्फ जोर देता है। बाकी आसनों की जो व्यवस्था है उसके विषय में ये काफी न्यूट्रल है। फिर आती है बात मुद्रा पे। मुद्रा, यहाँ पे मुद्राओं की संख्या बहुत ज्यादा है, मगर ये मुद्राएं सिर्फ मुद्रा ही नहीं बल्कि कुछ ऐसे बंध हैं, मूल बंध हैं, फिर बहुत सारी ऐसी क्रियाएं हैं, उनको भी, इन सभी को मुद्राओं की कैटेगरी में रखा गया। सो बेसिकली वी हैव षटकर, द क्लेंजिंग टेक्निक्स, देन वी हैव आसन, द एक्चुअल योगासन पोजेस, देन द थर्ड वी हैव मुद्रास और द स्पेसिफिक जेस्चर्स। ओके, तो मुद्रा का बेसिकली फंडामेंटल क्या है, व्हाट्स द साइंस बिहाइंड दिस, कि इसमें जो बीच का जो आपका जो ये होता है, मूली होती है, ये अलग को डिनोट करता है। जैसे आपका जो पिंकी फिंगर है, ये आपको जल तत्व को होता है, पिंकी फिंगर जल तत्व को डिनोट करता है। देन आपका जो थंब होता है, जल, वायु, अग्नि, पृथ्वी, आकाश। सो मिडिल फिंगर जो है वो आपको अग्नि तत्व को डिनोट करता है। तो इस तरह से 5 तत्वों का समावेश जो है हमारी 5 उंगलियों में। तो इनसे आप जब भी किसी 2 सर्किट्स को या 3 को एक साथ इंक्लूड करते हैं, सो बेसिकली यू अलाउ एनर्जी टू फ्लो इन 1 और 2 तत्व, बेसिकली जो हमारे बेसिक कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट्स हैं उसमें ट्रैवल करने के लिए मदद करते हैं। तो इसमें मुद्राओं की संख्या, जैसे हमने कहा कि मुद्राओं में कहने के लिए तो मुद्राएं हैं, मगर बहुत सारे जो इसमें मुद्राओं के बारे में बताया गया है, लाइक वी हैव बंध, नभो मुद्रा, देन विपरीत करनी मुद्रा, है ना। विपरीत करनी इज नाउ कंसिडर्ड मोर एज अ क्रिया, मोर एज एन asanas category, and specifically into restorative poses. And then we have Vajroli Mudra. Now, Vajroli is what? Again, ये सब जो है बहुत क्रियाओं के अंतर्गत आते हैं। अगर इफ यू गेट इनटू द रीसेंट जो हमारे पास जो टेक्स्ट अवेलेबल है उसमें, अब जैसे तड़ागी मुद्रा है, अगेन ये भी जो है ये मोर एज अ क्रिया कंसिडर की जाती है राधा जी। इसमें ग्रंथ संहिता में आपको एक समावेश मिलेगा, यू विल सी अ ब्लेंड ऑफ एक्चुअल हैंड जेस्चर्स, एंड सम ऑफ these mudras are actually involves to do something with your own body also, and you will see this differentiation, ये आपको अंदर लास्ट में पता चलेगा। जैसे जैसे आप जाएंगे बहुत सारे मुद्राओं में आप देखेंगे कि उसमें शरीर को किसी अवस्था में रखा जा रहा है, और कुछ कुछ मुद्राओं में सिर्फ उंगलियों को, जैसे योनि मुद्रा में थंब को पूरा ग्रैस करके पकड़ लिया जाता है एंड उसको स्ट्रेट रखा जाता है। ये आपको डिफ्रेंशिएशन देखने के लिए मिलेगा, डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज। जैसे जैसे आप अलग अलग पढ़ेंगे, लाइक हठ योग प्रदीपिका, और आगे आप बढ़ेंगे पतंजलि योग सूत्र की जिन मुद्राओं का बेसिकली वर्णन है जो एक्चुअली यूज होते हैं, तो वो एकदम अलग अलग बाइफिकेशन होता चला जाएगा। सो डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज विद दिस नंबर। नाउ आफ्टर दिस, आफ्टर mudras, main important, the next most important thing that comes is pratyahar. प्रत्याहार बेसिकली क्या है? प्रत्याहार का मतलब है इंद्रियों को जो आहार मिलता है, तो हमारे जो ज्ञान इंद्रियां हैं पहले तो जिनसे सेंसरी इनपुट्स हमें मिलता है। तो आंख को देखना है, कान को सुनना है, होठ को चखना है, नाक से सूंघना है। सो और एंड ऑब्वियसली द स्किन, दैट इज फॉर सेंसेशंस। So all these responses, all these 5 responses are basically like an instrument. Whenever you interact with the outer environment, बाहर के जगत से जैसे आपका कनेक्शन होता है, and the moment you have some impact on these organs, sensory organs, what happens? There is some vibrations, स्पंदन होता है, वाइब्रेशन होता है। और जैसा स्पंदन जिसकी इंटेंसिटी होगी, इन द सेम वे आवर मन बुद्धि चित्त अहंकार, ये चारों का फिर समावेश होता है, दे रिएक्ट टू ईच अदर एंड दे क्रिएट आवर ओन रियलिटी. सो व्हाट इट सेज, प्रत्याहार मीन्स जो आहार इन इंद्रियों को मिलता है, सो बेसिकली रिस्ट्रिक्टिंग the food or the inputs that your all these sensory organs gets usually from the outer environment. Okay, and how you do it, basically, so the ideal way to do is आप ऐसे माहौल में रहना शुरू कर देते हैं जहां पर गंदा देखने के लिए नहीं मिले. So you went into a very devotional kind of environment where you don't have to think about, काम, क्रोध, लोभ, मोह और anything. You might get into studying different kinds of literature. अलग अलग तरह के साहित्य पढ़ने का मन कर सकता है, मन विचलित हो सकता है. So what you do is, तो आप धर्म की शरण में जाते हैं, you study गीता, भगवद गीता, or the kind of scriptures that you want to enhance your knowledge. So you start studying them. Okay. So what happens that the kind of food, the inputs that you are giving to your sensory organ, that gets very limited, and all these inputs only allows you to become more and more stronger in your approach. तो प्रत्याहार से कहा गया कि धैर्यता आती है. धैर्यता क्यों आती है? क्योंकि जिस चीज को चाहने का आपका मन करता है, जैसे मुझे मीठा बहुत पसंद है, तो मुझे मीठा खाने का मन करेगा, राइट. बट मैं ऐसे इन्वायरमेंट में रहूं जहां ना मुझे मीठा दिखाई दे, ना मेरे घर में ज्यादा चीनी अवेलेबल हो, और अगर हो भी तो जैसे मुझे अगर शुगर कट करना है तो मैं क्या करूंगा, आई विल मूव टुवर्ड्स डेमेरारा शुगर और द ब्राउन शुगर, और गुड़ है, खंड है, और चोहाड़े जो होते हैं, डेट्स. तो वन डेट इज इक्विवेलेंट टू ऑलमोस्ट जो दो रसगुल्ले होते हैं उसके बराबर उसमें शुगर होता है. सो there are alternatives available. If I surround myself with all these options, what will happen? I can easily cut down my consumption of sugar in my diet. ठीक उसी तरह से I create an environment where it becomes much more easier for me, first of all, to create a sense of steadiness in my practice, and thereafter, from an outward, orientation of myself, moving towards the inward part. Okay, so bahirmukhi se antarmukhi hona. So I have been seeing all my life what's been happening outside, and I'm trying to correct my things. ये ऐसा क्यों है, अगर ये ऐसा हो जाएगा तो फिर मेरे लिए अच्छा हो जाएगा. मेरी बीवी मेरी बात नहीं मानती, अगर वो ऐसे करने लग जाएगी तो हो जाएगी. मेरे बच्चे मेरी बात नहीं सुनते, अगर वो ऐसे हो जाएंगे तो अच्छा हो जाएगा. So basically, I keep on looking for excuses that if I change something outside, I would be at peace. But that never happens. So the actual reason is inside of you. The moment you get inside and you identify that the problem lies within myself, I have associated special meaning for my kids and with my wife, and these expectations are the basically reason behind the kind of suffering or the kind of uh, this restless environment where I am bound to live now. So basically, if you are not feeling peace, it means that you are not at ease with things those are available to you right now. तो इसलिए कहता है साधक को धैर्य और संयम की प्राप्ति के लिए, सेल्फ रिस्ट्रेंट के लिए आपको प्रत्याहार का पालन करना जरूरी है. okay. चलिए, तो कहते हैं कि प्रत्याहार की जब बात आती है तो कहा गया कि प्रत्याहार डजंट मीन ओनली कि सेंसरी ऑर्गन्स का फिजिकल फॉर्म है. हमारा आहार कैसा हो, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ फूड आई शुड ईट. सो प्राणायाम में ये काफी क्लियरली मेंशन किया गया कि इसके पहले आहार कैसा है ये बहुत मायने रखता है. If you keep on eating very स्थूल or gross kind of food item that takes a lot of time to digest, से पचने में बहुत समय लग रहा है, तो आप अपने शरीर का वजन जल्दी कम नहीं कर सकते, घनत्व तो नहीं कम कर सकते. आपके अंदर तुलतुलापन, उदासीनता, आलस्य बना रहे. You will keep on feeling being into a state of lethargy and sluggishness, right? So what kind of food habits that you should have? So Gheranda Samhita says that there are three categories of a diet. One is mitahar. Okay. What is mitahar? Mitahar, mitahar basically speaks about that anything, the kind of food that we eat in our day-to-day life. So the mitahar refers to having a very moderate kind of consumption of food items. Very moderate. So when I say moderate, so what I mean by is that's something that I can digest very easily. Okay, very easily. So for someone who follows Arya Ashtanga Marg, for these people, what happens? Let's understand. All the followers of Arya Ashtanga Marg are supposed to have their breakfast with sunrise. And before 12 noon, you are supposed to have your lunch. And when it comes to dinner, you are given nothing. You can only have lemon water in the evening. Now, this is exactly mitahar. What mitahar allows is, as per the structure of your body, our body is supposed to digest the quality of food only up to an extent. When we overeat, we overstress our liver, our pancreas, our spleen, our intestine, and all these organs related to it, because now they are overworked. Right? Mitahar allows you to have a breather for them. It allows them to gain that lost energy by this continuously into this vicious cycle of digestion and everything. And now you can see almost all the people, something is wrong with someone. कुछ ना कुछ गड़बड़ सबके साथ है. So mitahar accounts for having only moderate food. Okay. So it doesn't signify the kind of food, but it says that the portion of food should be limited. And what should be the portion of food? Let's understand. Like in Arya Ashtanga Marg, they say that the food should be enough so that it can restore your health. It can keep you in good shape, but never ever eat from a point of view that you want to build huge muscles or something like that. Even Buddha, in the starting of his journey, he also strived following the Rishi culture. He used to fast a lot, and he realized he got weaker and weaker day by day, and with this very lethargic body, with this very weak body, whenever he used to get into meditation, he couldn't even concentrate. And then there was an end when he decided, now this is basically a high time for me. And he said कि आज के बाद मुझे भोजन करना है, अच्छे से भोजन करना है, जिससे कि मेरा शरीर चल सके, और उस आहार के साथ साथ अब मुझे ध्यान पे ध्यान देना है. तो मिताहार का अर्थ उस मॉडरेट डाइट से है जिससे आपका बॉडी हल्का बना रहे, आपको कोई रोग वगैरह ना हो, आपके पास प्रॉपर ample amount of energy भी हो कि आप दिन भर थके ना. That is mitahar. That portion is exactly right for you. And everybody has a specific balance that you need to find it out. Okay. Now the second quality is hitakari ahar. What is hitakari ahar? Let's understand. अभी गर्मी का मौसम है, बरसात का शुरू हो गया. Usually the temperature is usually within the range of 35, 32, 35 to 40s with a lot of humidity. Like here in Gaya, where I am now in Bihar state, it's very humid as compared to Delhi or somewhere. It's very humid. So if I don't eat anything till 12 noon, what am I going to do then? All my bile juices start secreting with the sunrise, okay? And they reach up to a peak till 12 noon. So this is the moment when most of the acid has been secreted in my body, and I haven't put anything till now. What kind of environment it will create in my body, especially in the intestine? Definitely, this will not be worthwhile. And the more acidic your body gets by this kind of food habit, what will happen? जितना आपका शरीर ज्यादा अम्लीय होगा, your body requires a lot of multivitamins to make your blood palatable. When I say palatable, it means so that your blood can travel easily. Acid makes your body especially your bloods, to condense, and it doesn't allows your blood to free flow. Yeah? So Hitakari Ahar says any food that allows your body, first of all, according to the situation in which you are, the environment you are, the kind of food habit you are, it allows your body to be in a conducive and a equanimous state. So for me, if I take a lot of fruits and vegetables early in the morning, empty stomach, it will allow all the bile juices and everything to get consumed in a much more proper way, so that body can create a very harmonious kind of juices and everything that could be assimilated very easily by my intestine, thus allowing me to have very little requirement of all these vitamins and minerals. There was a reality check that was done on vitamins and minerals, and in naturopathy it is strongly recommended that what exactly these vitamins do to your body. Any vitamins and multivitamins that you take, they only make your blood thinner so that they can travel easily. And there are other different ways also by which you can make your blood thinner. If you do pranayam rigorously in a moderate, controlled way, it will allow you to make your blood thinner. If you take a lot of but vitamin C enriched food sources, खट्टी चीजों का सेवन अगर आप करना शुरू करते हैं, वो आपके ब्लड को पतला बना देती है। जिसके शरीर में बहुत ज्यादा ऐंठन हो, दर्द हो, वो खट्टी कोई भी चीज है, जैसे आंवला है, लेमन है, उसके बाद आमड़ा है, ऐसे जो भी सीजनल फ्रूट्स हैं, इफ यू टेक देम, और ऑरेंज, you take it, it makes your blood thinner, and the thinner blood your blood is, it's much more easier for your blood to travel from your toes to your heart. So Hitakari Ahar allows for, as I said, Hitakari means that is conducive for you as per the environment, as per the weather, as per the season that you are in right now. That is called Hitakari Ahar. So usually Hitakari Ahar for us is usually a lot of fruits and vegetables and pulps. All the green vegetables, those could be mixed in the carbohydrate or starch enriched food so that it can allow the sugar balance in our body. Now the third is Agraha Nishuddha Ahar. Agraha means very gross, that takes lot of time. जिसे पचने में बहुत समय लगे, उसे कहा निषिद्ध आहार, उसे खाना ही नहीं है। जैसे मांस के विषय में कहा गया, the more you eat meat, see there are different variations, as per the different yoga schools, and as per my understanding and my what I have read, there was a time when even Buddha also had took meat in his diet. Even Vivekanand, during his last date, when I went through his biography, it was mentioned that he had this TB kind of situation where he was taking meat. Even the iconic, meditation by the Tibetan, different sects that they have, like Vajrayana and everyone. Entire Tibetan people, they eat meat, and still, when it comes to meditation, they are considered to be the best meditators. Okay, so definitely diet has a lot of impact to it. So they say Nishiddha Ahar means anything that takes a lot of time to digest in your body. Okay, so if you feel very lethargic, it means your body is very gross. So only way you can move from gross to subtle is first by changing the constitution of your body, by including food habits, that is a lot of water and all the nutrients that could be digested very easily, and that can even compensate for your hunger. So that's why we recommend a lot of fruits, especially watermelons and everything. Watermelons is a great way to lose weight. आप अगर एक आधा वाटरमेलन खा लें तो आपका पेट जिंदगी मतलब 4-5-6 घंटे तक भरा रहेगा, and you will have all the electrolytes and everything and energy available to you, with even the purest form of water available by the nature. So you don't have to even, you will have that much of tendency to drink water also. So these are the 3 varieties of ahar. Now इसमें से मिता आहार को योगी के लिए श्रेष्ठ बताया गया. मिता आहार मीन्स controlled portion of food is considered to be the best for anyone who follows the yogic tradition. Okay. चलिए आगे चलते हैं. अब बात आती है नाड़ी शोधन, या स्पेसिफिकली वी मूव टुवर्ड्स फ्रॉम pratyahara to pranayam. Now, when it comes to pranayam, Hiranya Samhita, you will see that anyone who starts pranayam, first, the first pranayam that they do is this Anulom Vilom, we call it, or the Nadi Shodhan pranayam. Hiranya Samhita specifically says that the pranayam should start with Nadi Shodhan Kriya. Okay, so this is where the picture comes in. Hiren Samhita, जैसे मैंने कहा था कल भी कि जितने बहुत सारे जितने रूल्स रेगुलेशंस बने हुए हैं अभी जो योगिक ट्रेडिशन में फॉलो हो रहे हैं, इट इज डायरेक्टली टेकन फ्रॉम घिरन संहिता. ओके, एंड घिरन संहिता से नाड़ी शोधन प्राणायाम जो है ये अभ्यास के पहले में करने के लिए कहा गया है. So this should be the first practice you should start before doing any actual pranayams. Okay, what Nadi Shodhan does is it rebalances your Surya Nadi or the Chandra Nadi. It establishes an equanimity between both of them. It establishes a sense of balance between the left and the right brain. Right? And you will be amazed to get to know that even before any puja or karma kand, the first thing that a Brahman does is, or anyone who sits for puja, what they do is they do achaman. Achaman means cleansing. So we have like Keshuvaya Nama, Madhavaya Nama, Narayana Nama, and then Shashi Purandaraya Nama, and Vishnu Nama. Right? So we take the holy water, we cleanse ourselves first. And the second thing that we do is Nadi Shodhan, at least 5 times. Any Karma Kand book that you take, you will see the second practice is Nadi Shodhan. So before getting into even a Karma Kand or Puja, the equanimity of your mind is so important that our sages get to know about it. And that's why they made these protocols. Okay. So when we move to Pranayam, so in Grand Sangita, this is not called as Pranayam, by the way. In Grand Sangita, these are referred to as Kumbhaka. Why? Because any pranayam that you do, you will see what happens. You retain your breath for some time. अपने श्वासों को कुछ समय के लिए रोकते हैं. Okay. So, Virend Samhita mentions about 8 type of different kumbhaks or pranayam. Okay. So, the first one is Sahit, that's Sagarbha or Nigarbha. So, this is basically with breath or without breath. I mean the retention or non-retention of the breath. Okay. Then we have Surya Bhedi pranayam. So Surya Bhedi pranayam activates the Surya channel. Right? Then Ujjayi pranayam, as we know, Ujjayi. So what is Surya Bhedi pranayam? The right nostril, the right side of your nostril is the Surya Nadi, or this is called the Surya Bhedi pranayam. So at will, you activate the Surya channel in your body. Okay, so that's Ida, not the Ida, but the Pingala that you work on to. तो आप अपने पिंगला नाड़ी को एक्टिवेट करते हैं. The next one comes Ujjayi. Ujjayi, where you try to, just press a little bit the entire below the nasal pharynx and the throat area, and you try to make a sound with it. Right? So Ujjayi is specifically beneficial for Vishuddhi chakra or the entire neck to the throat area. The kind of spandan or the vibration it creates, it relaxes all the neurons and the muscles starting from your throat till your this entire diaphragm, I would say. Then we have Shitali. So in Gharan Samhita, this Shitali is already mentioned. Only one prana is mentioned. Okay, but wherever if you get into Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Shitali and Shitikari, there are 2 kinds of pranayam. There is just minor difference, but the effects of both the pranayams are same. What Shitali does is that it cools down your body. It works like a natural air conditioner for your body. It cools all your internal organs. So any pranayam that you do, after that, if you feel that all these pranayams are going to evoke a lot of heat in my body, especially like Agni Salpriya or something. So what you do is you complement it with Shitali or Shitakari, to tone down the heat that will get involved in your body. Then we have Bhrastika, the extensive breathing, breathe out, that Bhrastika, or if we talk about in the normal terminology, जो आजकल जो market में चल रहा है, then we have this the Wim Hof method, if we call it. So Bhrastika. Then we have Bhramari. Bhramari is when you make sound of a bees, basically. So you cover your ears, you place index finger over your eyes, middle finger parallel to your nostrils, then ring finger over your upper mustache, and the small pinky finger below your lips. And kind of like, you close your eyes and then you inhale and you exhale it with its humming noise. And you make that humming in such a way so that you can feel a lot of internal vibrations to it. So you need to find your balance, right? कहाँ से ज्यादा भ्रामर की तरह जो भंवर है उसकी तरह आवाज आती है. Then we have Murcha Pranayam. Murcha is nothing but your Shavasana, and then Kevali. तो ये सारे के सारे जितने भी प्राणायाम हैं इसके विषय में गणेश संगीता में बताया है. इसके बाद आता है ध्यान. प्राणायाम के बाद आ गया ध्यान. सो व्हाट इज ध्यान? सो ध्यान का मुख्य उद्देश्य क्या है? हमारे कंसंट्रेशन को एक जगह पे इकट्ठा करना. दैट्स इट. इसका मेन काम यही है कि हमारा जो मन, जो स्थूल मन है, जो हमारी स्थूल काया है 3.5 हाथ की. सो आवर एंटायर बॉडी, our mind is usually scattered throughout the body. Okay, now what dhyan does is it constricts the area, it narrows down the focus area of your mind into a very small surface, I would say. So usually in the mindful meditation, what we do is we first of all try to focus on, with progressive relaxation, we focus on the entire body. And after that, what we do is we focus on the breath. So we focus on the area, that covers the nostrils and the upper lips. And as we move further into our practice, what we do, we focus on only the area that's below the 2 nostrils above your upper lip. Above the mustache, basically. So below your 2 nostrils. So that's more like a Charlie Chaplin, the thick, very small mustache that he used to keep. So only in that small area, we try to concentrate our mind. So Dhyan basically focuses your mind into a very small area. And the moment, why we do it? Because the moment जैसे आपका मन जो है छोटे से क्षेत्र पे एक स्थिर होगा, उसको आप कर देंगे, तो आपका मन जो है वो सूक्ष्म हो जाता है, भेदने की तरह होता है. ऐसे समझने की कोई चाकू जो है उस पे धार नहीं थी, और जैसे वो छोटे से एरिया में टिकने लग जाता है तो उसकी जो धार है तेज हो जाती है. नाउ इट कैन गेट डाउन टू योर internal body parts, and exactly it can allow you to feel the reality of my nature. What is the reality of my nature? 99.99% is space. This is the reality of my mind, right? So by calming and focusing my mind in such a way, I can feel that 99.99% of my entire body is also space. If I can feel that, I can see that the Atma or Paramatma or anyone. So there are 3 ways. Sthula Dhyana. Sthula Dhyan means you basically focus on any external figure, any deity, or you create a dot or something. Okay, so this is more looking outside with an open eye. Then we have the second dhyana, that's Jyoti Dhyana. Jyoti Dhyana is nothing but the Trataka, where you find a peaceful place where you position a candle, a perfectly lit candle, और घी का दिया, और उसे आप अपने आई के लेवल पे पोजीशन करते हैं. तो जब भी ध्यान करेंगे, the focus or the object should be at the level of your eye. Okay, and you usually do it in a very, very secluded kind of place where there is no external intervention is required, so no one comes very easily. Then the Jyoti Dhyana, and the third type of Dhyana is Sukshma Dhyana. Sukshma Dhyana is the Dhyana on your breath, I can say. Dhyana on the coldness and the hotness of the breath. When you inhale, you feel that the air is cool a little bit. When you exhale, you feel the breath is hotter. Okay, so these are three levels of dhyana. Definitely the sukshma dhyana, the subtle dhyana is the best. So if people have problem moving or practicing the sukshma dhyana, what we do is we first practice the sthula dhyana, then we might move to jyotir dhyana, and then gradually we move to sukshma dhyana. Okay.
So,
And then yeah, any questions? कोई प्रश्न है?
हाँ जी सर, स्थूल ध्यान फिर से कहेंगे क्या है?
हाँ, स्थूल ध्यान जो है बाहरी किसी आलंबन पे, आलंबन का अर्थ होता है किसी चीज को मीडियम बनाकर अगर आप उसको देखकर अपने मन को स्थिर करते हैं, उसे कहा जाता है स्थूल ध्यान. सो स्थूल ध्यान का अर्थ है कि इफ आई लाइक पुट अ डॉट, एक पेपर पे मैंने एक बड़ा सा डॉट बनाया और उसे अपने आंख के 1.5 फीट 2 फीट आगे रख दीवार पे चिपका दिया और मैं उसे देख रहा हूँ, या फिर भगवान की कोई मूर्ति है उसको आगे रख दिया और मैं उसे देख रहा हूँ, जिस भगवान इष्ट के प्रति मेरी श्रद्धा है. So anyone whom you follow, so if you follow your Jesus or Buddha or whomsoever, you position his idol in front of you and you look at his figure. So sthula dhyana is something when your eyes are open and you're looking outside to a physical object or an entity and trying to concentrate your mind. Jyotir dhyana is also looking outside, but in this case you have candle. So basically Jyotir dhyana is like Trataka. So if you are seeing आप किसी दिए को देख रहे हैं, दैट इज ज्योतिर ध्यान. घी का दिया है, तिल के तेल पे जलने वाला दिया है, ठीक है. पेट्रोलियम से जलने वाला दिया या मिट्टी तेल से जलने वाले दिए पे त्राटक नहीं किया जाता. सो बेसिकली ज्योतिर ध्यान शुड बी डन विथ हाईएस्ट जो है वो घी का दिया है, उसके बाद तिल के तेल का दिया हो सकता है, और सबसे कम में है मोमबत्ती का दिया, ठीक है. और सूक्ष्म ध्यान है श्वास पे, श्वास पे, श्वास के स्पर्श पे, श्वास के आलंबन पे कि किस तरफ ज्यादा आ रहा है, कम आ रहा है. जब श्वास आ रहा है तो कहाँ कहाँ नाक के अंदर छूट के जा रहा है, इसके प्रति पूरा सजगता बन रहने लग जाए. ये हो गया सूक्ष्म ध्यान. ये आंख बंद करके किया जाता है सूक्ष्म ध्यान. द लास्ट वन वी डू विथ क्लोज्ड आईज, बट above first and the second one that we do are done with then open eye. ठीक है.
Yes, sir, clear.
ठीक. Last is samadhi. Now there are different ways of samadhi. So when we do dhyana, what happens? मन चित्त एकाग्र होना शुरू हो गया, सफल होना शुरू हो गया, and his ability to feel things increases drastically, quantum level. The first thing what will happen is you will start feeling small sensations in your body, like something is crawling, or like you might feel that some ant is moving or something, or some kind of prickling sensation you will start feeling. पहले तो ऐसा होगा body पे. After some time you will start feeling very intense, is like pulsation in your body, like something is moving, kind of like कुछ इस तरह का. And after some period of time you might feel what will happen is, because now your mind has become sharper, so now it is trying to get down deeper, above, below the level of your physical realm. So you will start feeling pulsation, you will start feeling heartbeat in your body anywhere that might be possible. But wherever we feel it, we ignore it, we only focus on the subtle sensation that we will feel in our desired area, and our desired area is below the nostrils. Below the nostrils, the mustache area, right? Only in that place. Now, as you keep on moving into the practice, there comes a time when there is swasha. So you have the breath and you are experiencing the breath. Slowly, what happens is that your body fades away and you are just watching the breath, and you are the breath. Okay. So earlier you have the body and you were feeling the breath. Then you were experiencing the breath. It was the breath. And then you were only the breath. So it's just the breath. That's you and breath became one. Now this is called the samadhi, where the two aspects of the person who is watching and what has been watched become one. And the person who is watching, his physical identity dilutes and he becomes an observer first. And from observer, both of them merge into one being. दिस इज कॉल्ड समाधि. समाधि को क्या कहे? चित्त की उत्कृष्ट या उत्तम अवस्था. समाधि में निर्लिप्तता आती है. निर्लिप्तता का अर्थ है यू रियली डोंट केयर व्हाट्स हैपनिंग, यू नो, यू आर जस्ट टेकिंग केयर ऑफ that this is what happening now and I'm being aware about it. That's it. Okay, so the excessive attachment that we have with all the physical entities वो खत्म हो जाता है तुरंत समाधि. ठीक है, और इसी से कहा गया कि योग सिद्ध होता है. तो धारणा, किस चीज पे हम ध्यान कर रहे हैं वो धारणा होता है. ध्यान कब समाधि बन जाए इसका कोई मानदंड नहीं है. देयर इज नो फिक्स पैरामीटर टू इट. सो यू माइट शफल फर्स्ट फ्रॉम ध्यान to very small period into samadhi, then you will come back for dhyan, then again for a little bit longer into samadhi, then you will come back for a much more intensive duration of dhyan. आपने कुछ कौतूहल वाली कुछ ऐसी चीजें देख ली जिससे मन विचलित हो गया तो ध्यान तो लगेगा नहीं, समाधि भी दूर की चीज है. So there are different ways of samadhi that you can use. So it has the first one is dhyan yog samadhi. So more like a sukshma dhyan you can do. Then nad yog samadhi. So when you use different kind of vibrations and energy, like this singing ball, you know, events that happens online, you know, they tell you to become a healer and change your reality in a very short span of time. I love that pitch, you know. So nad yog samadhi, something like this. Rasanand yog samadhi. You became one with the texture of something, you know. So it might be a chanting, ये भजन हो सकता है, कुछ भी हो सकता है. Then bhakti yog samadhi, then raj yog samadhi. Raj yog samadhi is typical Patanjali style samadhi. So we will leave samadhi here because in the later chapters we will discuss in detail about different kind of samadhis. So there are 5 or 6 different kind of samadhis. This is only for you as a reference now, and we will discuss them about in detail. Because we will talk about kaivalya and samadhi and what is mumuksha and everything. So it will come in the future. So this was the Ghiranya Samhita. अभी तक का हमारा घिरण्य संहिता का जो है वो लगभग यहाँ समाप्त होता है. If you have any questions or anything, you can ask me right now. कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं? बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया. चलिए ठीक है. So thank you so much for joining, and we will end the session today itself.